All right, well, we're on lesson number 6 of the 7 things that you need to understand as if you're a part of a ward council or any council in the church, really, for that matter. I hope you're enjoying these videos. Continue to like and subscribe to our channel and to the videos as well so that you can see more of them. This is the second to last one on this lesson series that we're doing right now. And this one's a really, really important one. This one is about revelation in the church. And I want to have a bit of a frank conversation with you about this. So I hope you're geared up for the comment section as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas. In understanding revelation in the church, okay, the LDS church runs on revelation. Very, very important. It runs on revelation. Whether that's past revelations that we're leveraging through scriptures and lessons and things, or more importantly, it's current revelation. This is very important. Okay, article faith number 9 as well. We believe that all that God has revealed, does now reveal, and that he will yet reveal many great important truths pertaining unto the kingdom of heaven. There's still more to come, folks. There's more to come. We don't have all of it yet. There's still more that we get to learn, which is exciting. So revelation is how the church should run. There's really 2 types of revelation that we have in the church. And so I want to talk about these 2 types of revelation and compare and contrast them to help you understand how do they work, what can they do, and how can we apply them appropriately in our life. So one way that we gain revelation is what we call specific revelation, or at least that's what I call it, specific revelation. This is the type of revelation that usually comes to one person. They get a revelation or an insight from the Spirit about something. And that's it. Basically, it just comes to them. So specific revelation comes for a couple of reasons. One is it is about your life. It is something about your life. And so you can get a specific revelation about your life, what's going on in your world, in your life and situation. These are the reason why you want to always keep the Spirit with you, so the Spirit can give you these on a pretty regular basis. If you're staying close to the Spirit, you'll probably get these kinds of revelations rather common. Whether not necessarily guaranteed daily, but you might get 1 or 2 a week. You might get little insights or things at work or school or wherever you're doing to help you. And so the closer you live to the Spirit, the more this personal or specific revelation you can get. This is important. This is the Spirit testifying to you about the truth of something. Okay, specific revelation is an important thing for us to understand. Now, sometimes we are given revelation because it needs to be given to us, basically. As a leader in the church, you can get specific revelation for people in your stewardship. As a parent, you can get specific revelation for the members of your family. So this is a great thing to have. You may get something, an insight, go talk to this person. That's a specific revelation about that person. You could be in a meeting and get an insight into, oh my gosh, this is the person we need to call for this calling, or this is something we got to go do for this person. Sometimes that can happen, especially as a president of an organization. You have that right of revelation to get those things. Your counselors can help with those things as well. Sometimes they may get a revelation and bring it up to everybody else. But here's the beauty of this is it's a confirmation to you from the Spirit. And that's great. That's an important confirmation to get. Make sure you're following the Spirit and understanding it to help you in discerning that. Now, there is a great talk out there from Elder Bednar about this type of revelation. And if you haven't watched it, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a really good talk. It's a non-conference talk that he gives. And the purpose of it is, am I hearing the Spirit or am I hearing my own internal voice? Was basically what it's all talking about. And he said in there basically that the gist of his whole experience is it doesn't really matter whether it's your voice or the Spirit that's doing the talking inside. So long as you are focused on doing good, you're fine. You don't necessarily have to delineate it out. And he gives a couple of examples from his own life where it made a difference. One of the stories he gives in there was, so when he was a missionary, he was in Europe during the time of World War II, or after World War II, and so he was actually President Boyd K. Packer was visiting the saints in different parts of Europe at the time. So he actually had to pick him up at the airport. Him and President Packer and his President Packer's wife picked him up at the airport as a young missionary, and then they went to the mission home for a little bit, and then he had to go to a train station, drop him off on a train to help him get to the next part of their stop, which was in Germany. And so in the moment, he realized they didn't have money. So he slipped some money, a $20 bill or equivalent for German money, into President Packer's hand and says, "Here, take this, in case you need to buy a ticket or you get hungry or whatever, you get some food. Here's some money for you to help you guys on your way." Well, that money came in handy in helping get Elder Packer and his wife through Germany without dealing with the hassles of passports and other things like that. It's a really cool story. And he asked the question, does it matter, whether it was just his idea to go, oh, we should just give him some money to help out. Does it matter if that was inspired by the Spirit or not? Not really. He followed the prompting and it worked. And then he tells other stories when he was a stake president and things like that. That was really cool. So the thing is you shouldn't stress out about whether it's your voice or the Spirit's voice. Just act on it. If it's good, if it's wholesome, it doesn't really matter whether it's the Spirit told you or your voice. Okay. In the moment, you'll probably feel like it's your voice. And then you'll look back later and go, maybe that wasn't my voice. Maybe I was following a prompting of the Spirit at the time. Okay. And that's fine. You don't need to worry about the details of it. As long as you're doing what's right, it'll all work out. Okay. So just realize specific revelation is important, and it can come for you and your stewardship, whether that stewardship is a parent or your church calling. You can get specific revelation, which is really good to have. The other type of revelation that does happen, and this is the more common type of revelation in the church, is what's called, or at least what I call, collective revelation. And that is a very important thing for us to understand, okay? Collective revelation has an advantage to it than specific revelation. Like we've talked about in specific revelation, sometimes you don't know if you're being really inspired by God or if you're thinking of it, it's your own idea that you're thinking of. And like Elder Bednar says, it doesn't really matter that much. As long as you're doing what's right and doing what's good, you don't really need to sweat the details on who told it to you. Most likely it was the Spirit telling it to you, but it doesn't really matter. You don't need to worry about it, the attribution of it. In fact, you can use our last lesson, section 121, verses 41 through 43, as a guide to help you in dealing with understanding specific revelation. That'll help out a lot. So the challenge, though, is, again, you can sometimes not be sure, am I right, am I wrong, what's going on with this? Was it my thoughts or the Spirit? I don't know. So collective revelation gets around that, because what I mean by collective revelation is anytime there's a council in the church, like a ward council, for instance, or a presidency, anytime there's a group like that that gets together, there is an opportunity for revelation to happen. Now, the beauty of this is it's not so much specific revelation as it is collective. And so this is awesome. And this is part of what Elder Bednar talked about in another talk when he discussed this idea of I wish I could get rid of the word meetings out of LDS vocabulary and switch it with revelation. We shouldn't go to a meeting. We should go to a revelatory experience. That's what a council meeting should be. It's not just a meeting where we talk about stuff. It should be a revelatory experience. And this is where collective revelation comes in. You see, and President Eyring has a great video that explains how they do this at the Quorum of the 12 Apostles level. Most of the church, it's fascinating to watch that video. It was an interview that he was asked after elders, several new members of the Quorum of 12 were just called, and they were asking him, a reporter asked him in an interview about, are you favoring Harvard graduate because you were a Harvard graduate? Is there a little bit of nepotism here and who gets picked to be an apostle? They have a nice resume of Harvard in it. And he's like, no, we don't do any of that here. What we do is so different than anything we've ever seen. So this is an important principle for us, okay? So when they get together to meet, the President Nelson or President Ballard, who's the president of the Quorum of 12, whoever's overseeing the meeting, officiating there, brings up a topic, and then everybody gets a chance to talk about their opinion on that topic. As they go around the room, they share their opinion in a voice. They all have different voices and different opinions, so there's some uniqueness. The goal of this discussion is not to find out who's right and who's wrong. The goal, because that's pride and ego, can get in that one. The goal is to find the truth among the opinions. What are the little nuggets of truth we can pull from everybody's opinion that can come together to form a larger nugget of truth that'll help us get where we need to be? That's what they do. So they discuss it in an open forum so everybody has the opportunity and feels comfortable voicing their own opinion. If people do not feel like they can voice their own opinion, they're not going to give you the truth. They're going to give you a curated version of things, and that's not going to get you to the truth. They have to, as the leader of a council or presidency, you have to make sure that the people feel safe offering their opinion, even if it's completely conflicting with everybody else's opinion. They need to feel safe being able to express that, because there is truth in what they will tell you. And it's not your job to say which opinion's right, which opinion's wrong. It is your job to objectively find the nuggets of truth among all the opinions and help pull that together through the discussion. So this is what the Quorum of the 12 do, the First Presidency as well, in making decisions. They bring this together, and then they seek to ask each other questions and discuss things to come together to where is the truth among all these opinions. That is collective revelation. When they come to that truth, then they can all meditate and pray on it and gain an understanding better, and then come back together to make a decision on it. That is collective revelation. That is when everybody comes to the same conclusion and goes, oh yes, that's what we need to be doing. That is how it all comes together. Everybody needs to feel safe in order to give you the truth, and then work together to keep the egos out and understand the truth. Not the opinion, the truth. And pull that together. That's collective revelation. So the beauty of collective revelation is it completely gets rid of personal bias. This happens a lot. Sometimes a bishop might say, or a elders quorum president, or whoever is the leader says, hey, I think we should do this. And then they, you're not going to get anywhere if you say something like that to your people before there's a discussion. So everybody's going to bias their opinion. So if you run from your opinion as the start, you're only going to get a half truth from everybody else. You're not going to get fully there. You might get decent results, but you're not going to get all the way there, because you need to have unequivocal opportunities for everybody to speak. So never come to a meeting as a leader and say, here's what I think we should do. What do you all think? Because all you're doing is asking them to comment on your opinion, and your opinion is the lead opinion. That's not how collective revelation works at all. That's a terrible way to run a meeting, honestly, from a lot of different standpoints. What you want to do is allow everybody to speak. Give them that opportunity to talk. Share. Realize everybody's coming from different perspectives, different bits of wisdom they have. Especially the women bring their opinions into this, because they are coming from a different perspective. Never, ever, ever. If there's one principle, we're going to put this, we have a whole other leadership course we're coming out just for leaders, is one principle that's important is never discount someone else's experience. Just because it's different than yours doesn't mean they're wrong at all. They're probably right because it's their experience. Listen to them and understand them. It's going to help you so much, revolutionize how this works. So if you focus on looking for the truth, not trying to decide who's right or who's wrong, look for the nuggets of wisdom in everybody's opinion, pull that together, you'll have a revelatory experience. This is collective revelation. This is how the church works. Most of what happens in the church is based on collective revelation, not specific revelation. The ward council's job isn't to sit around and wait for the bishop to be told what to do by God, and then he tells you guys what to do, and then you go do it. That's not how it works. We need to get out of that, okay? We need to make sure that we are coordinating and working together. There is tremendous wisdom in your council from everybody. You need to make sure that you are drawing that wisdom out and working with it. And again, this doesn't matter if it's a ward council, state council, presidency meeting, anything. It's not your job to tell everybody what to do as a leader. It's your job to help everybody give their opinion, to pull the wisdom out, and to work together to coordinate it all with the Spirit to guide you. When you can all come to that same conclusion, that is the collective revelation. That is what you should focus more on. Specific revelation will show up if you ask for help. Specific revelation will show up on an as-needed basis as well. And those are great. They're still great. But realize that collective revelation is the one you focus on the most. That's where you're going to get the better answers for everything. So pay attention to these things. Realize you want to have both of them operating in your life. You want to have both there, but realize that collective revelation helps get rid of bias and makes things, in a way, it's almost easier to be more pure in the revelation because it gets rid of those biases. Whereas specific revelation, you have to really work on being close to the Spirit, and it'll help out. So they both work together and they help each other out, but make sure you are leveraging the correct one for the callings and for what you're doing in your callings and in the church. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Look forward to your comments in the comment section, what you think about it. Have you seen experiences where specific revelation has happened or collective revelation has made the difference? Love to hear those stories. Share them with me and with others through the comment section. And we'll see you in our next video, which is our final one.